Silence. To most people, silence is a comfort. But to a radio enthusiast like me, Elias Vance, silence on the airwaves is a lie. I'm a hunter of ghosts, the lingering echoes of lost broadcasts and military chatter. I'm talking about number stations, those cryptic broadcasts. But even those follow rules. What I encountered was an intruder. Something that defied the physics of the airwaves in my home state. It was the 17th of October. I was attempting to pick up the remnants of a defunct Russian satellite, purely technical. My mind was on the equations, not on dread. It was 3:06 a.m. then. At 3:07 a.m., exactly a dead frequency 14.280 MHz. A band I knew was strictly empty suddenly came alive. Not static, not white noise. It was a rhythmic, deep pulse, like a colossal heartbeat thumping through the speakers. I recorded everything. I tried to dismiss it as interference. But every day, at 3:15 a.m., the signal would vanish, cleanly, and every night 3:07 a.m. it returned. A perfect 8-minute window. And, within the pulse, those tiny, fragmented audio blips. It was too precise, too organized. This wasn't a mistake. This was a transmission. And I knew deep down that someone or something was sending it directly to me. I called Leo Ramirez. My friend, a systems analyst and a professional skeptic. Leo laughed it off. He said I was hearing noise from an old radar system. I sent him the file. It took him 2 days. He called back not laughing. The pulse was the carrier signal. The blips were data, encoded data, a complex Vigenère cipher. It was a message. The anticipation was suffocating. I had to continue recording every night. On the third night, Leo found the key. He sent me the decoded message. The first sentence that popped up made me feel physically sick. It was a warning. Do not seek the source. It is watching. Leo told me to delete the file. He said it was a sick prank. But the fear fed my obsession. We traced the frequency back to a decommissioned military relay station deep in the Appalachian Mountains. Site 711, it was shut down 40 years ago under extreme secrecy. The reason for the closure pointed to one man, Arthur Davies, a maintenance technician who disappeared from the site the night it was shut down. The official report was went AWOL. Leo begged me to stop. This is a ghost story, Elias. It's a loop of Davies' last transmission. But I knew the truth. On the fourth night, the lights in my house began to flicker in perfect sync with the pulse. It wasn't a loop. It was responding. The message changed on the fifth night. No more warnings, just raw coordinates. And they all converged on the only possible location. Site 711 itself. I decided to go. I had to prove it wasn't a joke. But right before I left at 3:07 a.m., the pulse stopped. And I heard a sound too clear, too close for the airwaves. A guttural whisper. It was the name of the missing man. A-R-T-U-R. The drive to Site 711 was hours of darkness. Every shadow was a figure. The isolation was absolute. I parked and started hiking into the freezing woods. The tower was a giant rusted monument. I followed the signal on my handheld scanner. It was maxed out. It led me to a cinder block bunker, half buried in the earth. Inside, the air was thick, the smell of decay. And there it was, a makeshift setup, a sputtering gas generator, a huge custom-built transmitter. Someone or something was operating this. I aimed the camera. I was getting the proof. 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 30 seconds. The generator coughed. The pulse died. And the mechanical voice, amplified, clear and cold, boomed from the speaker. You have arrived. Now you will stay. I was paralyzed. The voice repeated, warping and growing louder. Then, behind the generator, I caught it on film. A tall, hunched shadow. The tattered clothes of a technician. Arthur Davies? I dropped the camera and scrambled for the door. The radio wasn't pulsing. It was a high-pitched, agonizing shriek of pure static. I slammed the heavy steel door shut behind me. The camera was found 3 days later, miles from Site 711. The police report states Elias Vance is a voluntary missing person. But here is the final proof. 3 weeks ago, Leo Ramirez, the skeptic, called me. At 3:07 a.m., he was listening to the frequency. The pulse came. And after the standard warning, 3 new words were transmitted. Arthur is not alone.